This is the Cozy Corner podcast. I'm BTL. I'm here with Ember. Hi, Ember.
Kimbo. It's Kimbo, this one.
Oh, this one's Kimbo.
Yeah, I'm feeling more Kimbo in this one, in this podcast.
We're available on the official podcast app as well as the SoundCloud. It's also syndicated on Writing Retro Radio. We are on Twitter as well. Follow our Twitter handle. It's Cozy Corner Show, one word, and that's Cozy with a K and a Z. How are you doing tonight, Ember?
I just want to shout out to the 6 followers on SoundCloud.
Oh, we have 6 now?
6 followers on SoundCloud. We were at 3, guys.
So, last episode was about ghost stories in New York, right?
Yeah, I guess it's been more than a month that we have had a podcast.
Did we experience any ghosts during our going back to last episode?
To update last episode, absolutely not. It was I think we were protected.
We were protected
by Nala.
Oh, No, is it? I think I was saying something wrong here because I'm not familiar with that B word. Bernice or Burmese?
No, Bernice.
With an N?
Bernice.
Because I was saying Burmese.
Oh, no, it's a Bernese mountain dog.
Bernice.
Yeah.
Like my Aunt Bernice. Who, by the way, Bernice, if you're listening to this, get out of jail soon. We love you.
There's no Bernice. Do you say aunt?
Aunt. Or aunt. It honestly depends on the context of the sentence. Like envelope or envelope. Or
you would say envelope.
Columbia. No, what was the word? I said it the other day.
Aluminium.
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 Yes. Aluminium. What was that? Oh, what was the word? Caribbean or Caribbean? Which one do you say?
Caribbean.
Caribbean. Yeah, I don't know.
I only say Caribbean if it's Pirates of the Caribbean. Like if somebody's saying but it's Caribbean for me. Okay, when you're at a grocery store and you know that you're gonna buy a bunch of groceries, what do you put your groceries in?
A cart?
Okay, so you call it a shopping cart.
Or a basket.
You never call it a buggy?
A what?
You never call it a buggy?
Isn't that No, I don't call it a buggy.
Never. Wow.
I don't even think... Because a buggy to me is like an automobile.
No.
Like a little buggy.
No, a shopping cart.
Like a Beetle.
A shopping cart is a buggy.
Like a Volkswagen. Where is this from?
I think it's a southern thing, but...
Do you know, these memes have been popping up lately. It's like a picture of the United States, and there's different shades depending on what people say or certain things.
I do want to clear up before I get made fun of for this. I don't know if buggy is a southern thing. I just assume that it's a southern thing. I don't know. Just so, the raisin... I don't want the raisin situation to happen again, is what I'm trying to say. Let me just clarify for those listening who are just like, she's an idiot. Okay, so buggy. Okay, and you were talking about a meme.
Oh, well, so...
I just needed to clarify something, so I interrupted you.
But so those memes are like people from different areas say different things. Mm-hmm. I can't think of one right now.
Pop and soda?
Yeah, that's a good example. Something like that.
I don't like when people say pop.
I've never heard anyone say pop.
Yeah, a lot of people from Chicago say pop. And people from up north say pop. I don't like pop necessarily because it's like soda. I don't know.
When I hear pop, there's 2 things that come to mind: the music genre and the Britney Spears song.
Which one?
Soda pop.
Soda pop. I think of Dirty Pop by NSYNC. Yeah, Dirty Pop.
No, it was on Britney Spears' first album. It had.
How's it go?
I can't sing it because we can't pay for royalties during the podcast.
Okay, just like monotone it. That's not monotoning it.
What?
Monotone's like dirty pop. You don't stop. You like that dirty pop.
Wow, that's
monotone.
That's
right?
monotoning it
for me. Pretty expressive.
It's
I didn't like that one.
No,
it wasn't my favorite.
That's what it sounds like.
That had some gems in it, but
the first album.
Yeah, but that's not one of my favorites.
I like that one.
I know, I like that album. I'm saying there's gems.
No, but I like that song.
Crazy. Sometimes is on that. I love Sometimes is probably my favorite Britney Spears songs. And for some reason, she doesn't perform it.
She doesn't like performing sometimes?
She doesn't like Sometimes. It's not a song that she performs ever.
Wow.
I forgot where I think it was like a Nicki Swift thing. I don't know. I bring up Nicki Swift quite often.
Yeah, that's true. Not all her videos, Nicki Swift on YouTube, get good reviews, get good ratings.
Well, because I think she goes after... I don't know. I saw one that she did of Paul Ryan. Is that... No, that's not Paul Ryan.
Paul Rudd?
No, not Paul Rudd. The douchebag guy. He's blonde and he's on YouTube.
The douchebag... Oh, Joe Logan. Paul Logan? Logan Paul.
Logan Paul. I'm really glad that it took us a long time to get to that. Okay, so Logan Paul.
Can we talk for a second? How the hell... Remember I sent you a snap? I was in Walmart and I saw a Logan Paul poster. Mm-hmm. How the hell does he have posters in a Walmart?
I don't... Okay, so... this is kind of just those moments... that guy's a reminder of horrible people having it all. But there's some great people who don't have anything, and there's just evil, disgusting people who just have the world at their feet because they're just so
evil. That's a very strong word.
No, it's evil.
Yeah,
I think he's one of those weird... Oh my god, I don't know. I don't even watch his video. I've never seen a fucking Logan Paul video in my life. But just the things that I've heard, I'm sorry, if you're gonna go to a Japanese burial forest where people are known to kill themselves and you're using that as a video and laughing about it and making fun of it, I'm sorry. That's pretty evil.
I watched, I think, one of his videos to see what it was all about. No, I tried to watch one of his videos. That was it. It's
like me watching Lord of the Rings.
Not quite scenario-wise comparable, atmospheric-wise comparable. I wouldn't really put those in the same...
But you know what's really scary is that...
Lord of the Rings?
Young... Lord of the Rings, probably. But there's young people who really like him enough to buy a poster in Walmart.
Well, so here's the thing: those videos are very I don't want to say fast paced, but very loud and obnoxious. The way they're pieced together, it's a lot of grand gesturing while yelling adjectives. And just incomprehensible sentences somewhat. It's weird, almost disjointed thoughts, but at the same time he's going someplace in the video, but it's very obnoxious. While he's saying something, he'll move on and a distracted monkey or something. It's very he's very in your face and stuff like that. And then he has different YouTube friends, I guess you could say, or brothers that do videos in a similar manner. And for some reason that attracts a lot of people. Not sure. It's just very in your face.
You know what's kind of interesting is that so there's kids who are at Walmart buying these Logan Paul freaking posters and him or whatever. And this guy has a lot of controversies, but he's still obviously making money and he's still fucking at Walmart.
Yeah.
And all this stuff. And he's doing these kind of videos. But when we were teenagers, I'm pretty sure the Disney kids were fucking cool. Right? Miley Cyrus was really cool. Demi Lovato was really cool. Those are people you kind of looked up to. Well, maybe not you. Maybe you're a little older than me. But I'm just saying, those were kids. When I was a teenager, those kids were cool. Fucking Hillary Duff was awesome, and even they had the little purity rings. They tried to appear,
right?
Maybe not they were. Maybe that's why they're all crazy now. But it was still you. The people that we or our age or people who we were watching weren't that outrageous or had that much controversy. If they had controversy, they would not be on television. Jamie Lynn Spears, she had a baby at
right, and
15, and she was gone.
Yeah.
And Zoe 101 was a fucking awesome show.
So maybe it's to a point where different boundaries have been pushed from when we were growing up, and now there's other boundaries that are being pushed, and they can be a lot more extreme now as far as boundaries go, because the boundaries that were being pushed when we were teenagers were a lot more bubble-esque, I guess you could say. Like the world was such a much smaller place as far as boundaries being pushed, as to where now very far extremes are being presented, where it seems offensive to us, but to a younger age, they're not necessarily offended by these things because this is just seemingly normal to them.
I think it has to do with people like getting famous on the internet. Like literally anybody can get famous. Anybody can make a viral video and get famous. And back, I think when we were growing up, that wasn't really a thing.
No.
And, they filtered who was getting popular, who was being on TV, who was being in the media. That shit was filtered.
That's true.
And now it's like, there's no filter. Anybody could be.
That's true as well.
In your face. Anybody could be, whatever.
And the things that pushed our boundaries when we were kids were the things meant for adults. Like, I remember I would set the VHS to record South Park in the middle of the night so I could watch it, like, when I came home from school the next day when my parents were home. And to me, that was, like, pushing a boundary, because it's like, oh, what is this? But, like, technically now, teenagers can go online and just watch that stuff.
Not only that, but even if they watch... Okay, so, like, one episode that I think of South Park that was, like, really just, like, outrageous... Hopefully it's still outrageous to somebody, but I just think that it wouldn't be as a big deal to these kids as into when I was a kid. Was, I don't know if you remember that episode of like this redheaded bully guy who kept bossing around Cartman, and then
he kills him, and
no, he kills his parents.
Oh, that's
and
right.
then it's just like a chili. It's like a chili contest, and he's just like, "Oh, what do you think about this chili?" And he eats it, and he's just like, he's like, "Oh, it's really good."
Yeah, that's
and
right.
Then
then he starts to cry and he licks his tears
because it's his fucking family that he put in the chili. And like that, I remember when I first watched it. I don't even think I laughed. I thought it was like, "Holy shit!" Like Carmen's crazy. But, like, I feel like that was such a big deal. And I remember, like, people talking about that episode. And not even, like, my peers. Like, I remember it being on television, like, people talking about it. Because it was such a crazy one.
I feel like people used to talk about South Park more.
But what I'm saying is, like, South Park was such a big deal then, right? But, like, now kids are getting stimulated in all sorts of crazy ways from, like, who could be more outrageous, it feels like, with TV... Like,
right, that's true.
With all like movies and TVs and so, I just think it's like somebody's always trying to push the boundary, and it's like there's no longer a boundary at all. And back then there was a very clear.
There were clear boundaries.
Clear boundaries.
And now it's almost like people don't really see boundaries until someone gets offended by it, and then they realize, okay, this is a boundary. I shouldn't cross this road.
Yeah, in order for people to really see boundaries these days, they have to publicly be shamed.
It's a whole different...
It's a whole thing. Did you hear about what happened to James Gunn?
No.
The guy who did Guardians of the Galaxy?
Right.
So, I mean... He's been fired by Disney.
So yeah, I think I saw a meme about it, but I don't know the context.
So he was fired from Disney, and I'm sorry if I don't get the story completely correct, but it was based off old tweets that he had, and
year-old tweets, right?
Like really old tweets, like 2013, I think.
Okay. Of
tweets, and they were very like, I don't want to. They were just weird, like just straight up. Weird and kind of like I don't know, like a crazy person would kind of put them. It was like based off like rape, children, and I guess he was trying to like push the envelope, and then I guess I say envelope. I guess he was trying to push the envelope, and he was trying to like kind of shock people. And then now 2018 they get resurfaced,
Right.
and now people are pretty much holding him accountable to it. Not sure if it's really the right thing to do or not.
Interesting. Because the meme I saw, I'm gonna butcher it severely, but the meme I saw was like, so Disney fired James Gunn over some offensive things he did years ago, and then it showed Disney screen captures of like there's a scene from Fantasia with a racially drawn little person, and then there was also a screenshot of like Song of the South from that movie, and just there were other screenshots, but the point was that Disney's past isn't so, like roses and daisies.
Is anybody's
themselves.
past like what? Like, okay,
No, we all
you
have-
in high school.
I was an asshole.
Exactly. So was I. I remember, oh my god, I tweeted I was I was reviewing my Twitter when I was like interviewing for jobs after college, and I posted like such a horrible tweet that like I don't even know what my mindset was at the time to post something so horrible. And it was like, I don't even want to discuss it. It wasn't anything racist or it wasn't anything like that. It was definitely sizist and something that I put that was like it was just wrong. And like now that I reread it, I was shocked that I would even ever say that.
Oh yeah, that Facebook feature memories, and it shows you like status updates and shit that you've done in the past. Even like 4 years ago, not even that long ago, I'll look at a status I posted and I'll be like, the fuck was I thinking? Or like, why would I post that?
Yeah.
And it's right. People can change so drastically in such a little time. Really all it takes is kind of just maybe one thing or moment in your life to change completely.
Exactly. So the fact that he's kind of getting punished for something he did so long ago, and I mean, I actually follow him on Instagram. Like, James Gunn is somebody I follow, and I look at it. Like, I seriously like most of his posts because they have to do with a lot of, like, Baby Groot and, like, all that stuff. And I love Guardians of the Galaxy.
Right.
And I think, like, I follow him, so I see what he posts. He doesn't post things like that.
No, not
and
anymore.
He's not... Exactly. But people change. People are different. So the problem is that people are publicly shaming him like, oh, he's terrible. Oh, he's awful. And then now the people who are actually shaming him, people are shaming them because it's like, oh, well, you posted this so-and-so years ago. And it's just a vicious circle. And it doesn't make any sense because it's like, okay, some people should be shamed. Like, who's this guy? This Predator guy. The guy who, like, touched all those actresses, the Time's Up movement. He
Weinstein.
Weinstein. Okay, so him, Weinstein.
Yeah.
This makes sense to public shame him, all right? Because obviously that shit was in the dark for so long.
Right. And that's... So, which brings up interesting point. So, while you're talking about all that, the thought that popped into my head was, not even so long ago, you could say or do things that like the general public wouldn't be okay with, and learn from that mistake, or have that mistake just be your own.
Exactly.
And just, it's not forever on the internet. Even now, if you like delete a tweet or take something down, people can screenshot it, grab it, cache it, whatever, and just keep it forever. And then that's now part of your human history. It's a whole different landscape of just dancing around, not necessarily politics, but just learning life in general, because you can't make mistakes and grow from them on your own necessarily. Nowadays, we're our own management, we're our own press, we're our own whatever, saying our opinion out to the world. And if for some reason we change our minds later, we, like a human would, we can be shamed for not being consistent, or for having a thought back. So
to evolve,
whenever,
pretty much. Like, we can't evolve without being...
We can't grow as people necessarily without being shamed of where we came from and who we were, and having that keep being brought back up, even though that may not necessarily be reflective of who we are today. And it's just such a weird landscape now, because, like I was saying, just back so not even so long ago, you could just grow as a person. Someone meets you for the first time, they're not able to, like, just see a history of every thought you had, or pictures of meals you had. Like, years ago. Like, you meet someone and you're like, oh, hey, how are you? And you build like a reputation with them and their own viewpoint of you, instead of all of a sudden now it's a gateway open to the past and who you were.
Exactly. And I don't want to say like making fun of rape is at all okay or funny, but he's not that person anymore. So
James Gunn.
Yes. Oh, Weinstein's probably a fuckface. I don't know. But I'm just saying,
his face is being fucked now. That's for sure.
Sure hope so. But again, like, there's some people who should be shamed. Yes. There's some people who I feel like people are overly sensitive right now.
Right.
And it's like too much. It's like reaching. Like, quit reaching. Just like...
I'm curious just what the world's going to be like in maybe 10 years.
I'm scared about what the world's going to be like in 10 years. But I'm just surprised that Disney... I mean, I guess Disney's cookie cutter and has to do what they got to do, but I'm a little disappointed. And like, what is that going to mean for Guardians? Like, I just...
I'm sure they'll find some... It won't be as original of ideas as like James Gunn was kind of injecting into the script, but I'm sure they'll find someone to do a decent job with it. They're Disney, and...
It's just disappointing the way the world works. And again, that's what I'm saying. Like, how are we punishing this dude? But like Logan Paul still has fucking billboards or like stuff in Walmart. Like, do you see like how this world doesn't make any sense?
Yeah, that's true. It's all brand. Whatever your brand is. I remember
who makes more money, pretty much. Well, I mean, he makes money.
Not necessarily, but it's almost what your brand is representative of. So Disney is very picky. Disney is very specific, I should say. And so they don't want that negative imagery. I guess it sounded like it backfired and this came out. So they let James Gunn go. That was the quick, easy thing to do to like clear up the mess or whatever. But like Logan Paul's image brand wasn't necessarily because of his clientele, because of his viewership, because of what he did. I think he did lose a lot of viewers even after his apology video, but just the kind of people who watch his videos are, they're not too deterred by that, let's say.
No, they're diehard.
So it's sort of a different, you gotta kind of just whatever your listeners or audience want. That's kind of what you go to.
I guess. I guess I don't feel like it's kind of right for people to be punished over something that one was a joke. Maybe they just have an awful sense of humor.
Yeah, it just could have been a joke that didn't deliver, like the many jokes I do.
You and I have this really funny joke about the bear, and then I guess now it's too sensitive. Never mind.
So the reason I brought that up is because when I was an intern on a radio show that's been mentioned before, I don't want to do that over and over. But it was a 4-hour radio program essentially, and we had advertisements and stuff and sponsors that we took breaks for when it was on the air, and then I would edit down the podcast. And so what I would do, I'd take the recording of what aired, I would take out the commercials, and I'd piece that together so it was just like one podcast without the ads. And the thing is with FM radio, if you curse or say something stupid,
you get fined
if it airs. But they have this button that they can press and it immediately deletes. It's different for stations, but let's say depending on the station, but it immediately deletes like 20 seconds of audio or 10 seconds of audio because there's a delay. And some live things do this too. So there's a slight delay with the audio. So if you press this button, it just cuts away immediately 20 seconds. And in our case, it cut away like 20 seconds. And then we were actually legit live for a while. And the thing is, the audio that aired would gradually slow down. It wasn't noticeable to the human ear, but it would gradually slow down until there's a 20-second delay again. And then it wouldn't be slow. It'd be a normal pace. So whenever you hit that button, it just jumps ahead to live, and then it slows down again. So we would do that. We would press that button quite a bit whenever we cursed or something happened that wasn't planned or whatever. And so I pitched the idea a couple months in to board operator, who's also the assistant programmer, I said, you could probably release on the podcast like an uncut version of this, because there's more being said like off the air and stuff that's not making it to the air that you could include on the show, like in an unfiltered version. How some shows or TV programs, they have like uncut or unfiltered, unedited. Like, we could have done something similar. And so I pitched that to him, and he was just like, yeah, but then we might lose sponsors based on the things that we don't put on air. So the whole reason for not doing that was because we didn't want to offend any of the sponsors that we had with stuff being said, that we were cutting from the air intentionally. So we were trying our clientele in that case, not necessarily the viewers, but also the sponsors. We didn't want to offend the sponsors. And that was kind of a big roundabout way of making that point.
That you lose sponsors if you say shit?
Yeah, if you put, so it's based on like, so Disney dropped James Gunn. They didn't want to lose maybe sponsorships, but also potential viewers for movies in the future.
Yeah, I guess it could be, who can resist Guardians of the Galaxy though? But okay, we'll just act like that's not a big deal. Well, thankfully we don't have sponsors, so we can say whatever the fuck we want.
Oh, I forgot to bring up, this episode's sponsored by Jimmy's Popcorn. Jimmy's Popcorn. If it's crunchy, then it was popped right. Jimmy's Popcorn. Not available anywhere because it's not a real product.
I love Jimmy's Popcorn because it comes in the way it comes out,
Yes. Very, very crisp. Mm-hmm. Almost painful.
Yes.
The way it
hurts so good.
It hurts so good. That's their slogan. Yeah. Jimmy's Popcorn. It hurts so good.
Thank you, Jimmy's Popcorn, for letting us say whatever the fuck we want.
Thank you, Jimmy's Popcorn. Hopefully there isn't an actual Jimmy's Popcorn.
Oh, God.
I'm going to have to research that before this airs. But if this part made it, then I did, and I couldn't find one. So don't blame me if you have a guy named Jimmy in your town.
No, it's Jimmy with a Y.
Yes.
Jimmy. It's Jimmy's Popcorn.
It's however, there's a silent Z in there.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
J-Z-I.
Don't be confused with just J-I-M-M-Y Popcorn. That's not what we're sponsoring.
It's J-Z-Y-M-M-I-E.
Yep.
Jimmy's Popcorn.
So that's not a thing. Let's hope.
That's definitely not.
So definitely get your Jimmy's Popcorn.
Get your Jimmy's Popcorn.
You might get a hemorrhoid. No, it's just too much. I'm sorry.
It now comes. Jimmy's Popcorn has now come in a dual Ziploc bag.
Now come?
For extra freshness, because the one Ziploc wasn't locking it all in. So now the two Ziplocs double the freshness.
All right, I'm gonna wrap that up for the listeners who are over.
Jimmy's Popcorn? Jimmy's Popcorn. You're never over Jimmy's Popcorn. You're always under it.
All right, guys. So some potential subjects that we can kind of bring up on the next podcast. I kind of want to talk about Big Brother, but I don't know if we have a Big Brother little, people who actually watch Big Brother.
We could always do like a side discussion that's like off the main path.
We have a hard time finding listeners for this.
For the main discussion?
Yeah, so let's not do that.
Here, how about this? We're a couple dozen minutes into this episode. A couple dozen? A bushel full of minutes. What am I trying to say here?
Okay, we're just in the podcast. We're finishing it up. We're wrapping it up.
Yes, we're wrapping it up. So quickly, in 60 seconds or less, and I'll time ya. What do you feel? We recorded this on Tuesday, by the way, and we haven't watched the veto come. We're about to talk Big Brother 20 US edition. Do you know who? Did you do spoilers? Do you know who won the veto?
No.
Okay, cool. Me neither. So in 60 seconds, tell me how you think this week is going to unfold. Go.
I don't think anybody's going to leave the house.
Oh, because of
because of Sam's power. And she has to use it anyways, which doesn't make sense because she was the HOH. I mean, I don't really know why she would do that. I would probably put in two people. Well, I guess there's hopes. I don't know. I don't think anybody's going to leave. And if somebody does leave, I kind of hope it's Haley, even though she's super cute. She's just not that interesting.
Wow, that was 30 seconds.
Nice.
You still have like the same amount of time to go on. Oh well, now you're losing time.
Chandler's a cutie now.
Okay, so here's what I don't want to happen. Well, no, so this is here's my prediction. This is very far-fetched, very far off. So Rockstar's on the block, right?
No.
Oh, really? It's Haley and
Haley and
Oh,
Caitlyn.
Haley, that's right. I only imagine Rockstar being on the block now.
I mean, we can manifest
So-
that. Let's manifest that.
Yes, just like Caitlyn's intuition. So here,
Oh, they want a backdoor. They want a backdoor Rockstar, so
backdoor
it's a
Rockstar.
possibility.
the week of her daughter's birthday, they want to. I can't believe that. But
You're disgusting. You're disgusting.
so I think unless it's Haley.
It's Haley.
Haley.
So it's like Kaylee, except for the age.
Here's my prediction. If Caitlyn gets evicted and she has the chance to come back in the game, she's going to blow it. If Haley gets evicted and has the chance, they're going to have the chance. She will win that chance and come back in. That's my prediction.
You have a lot of faith in Haley for no damn reason. She hasn't proved herself at all in competition.
Maybe this will be her week.
Wow.
All right, so that was our Big Brother predictions. This will be airing Friday, so we'll actually know if those predictions are way off or not.
Yeah, I hope
then.
you guys are I hope you guys are watching Big Brother. I mean, I was never a Big Brother fan, but this season's really good.
I mean, I feel like we compressed it enough they can just hit that skip button a couple times if they don't really want to hear that part.
Yeah, skip. Thank you, Zimmy's Popcorn,
Yes,
for
thank you,
sponsoring
Zimmy's
this
Popcorn.
podcast. We're going to really enjoy some popcorn after this.
Yes, thank you, Yimmy. Courtesy of Yimmy. Is it Yimmy or Jimmy?
Yimmy's, I don't know.
So
Thank you.
That's this week's, and I'm saying week, so that's this week's episode. Catch us next week for an all-new episode. Thank you to the beautiful Ember here for joining me.
Stop flirting
Thank
with me.
you
That's very unprofessional.
For all the listeners that we have, we appreciate you. More
All
than
6
you know.
of you. And let's hope we doubled our number.
The cozy crew, the Cozy Corner crew is growing.
Yeah, so I mean that's SoundCloud. I guess we don't know how many we have on
the official podcast app or listening on. And thanks to Riding Retro Radio for syndicating this show.
Sponsored by Retro Radio.
And
I would do a crime for Riding Retro Radio. I would perform all the crimes.
So that's my sign off. Do you have anything to add to that?
No, thank you for listening. Thanks guys.
It's getting louder. It's getting louder.
Thank you, Mom, Dad.